Oh, so it's good?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Let the Madness Begin, LTMB Live, with your host, Will Gaillard.
I'm Mike White.
How's everybody doing today? Tonight, depending on what coast you're on. Let's bring Facebook on.
What's happening, Facebook?
What's up, Facebook? Welcome to LTMB Live. Let the madness begin.
Somebody in the chat said, "Where are you?"
We are right here.
Robin said, "Where y'all at?"
Yeah.
No, we right here.
All right.
Ready to get this thing going.
Right. We just gotta make sure
all the technical
aspects are working great. We couldn't hear the. Let's see. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Someone tell us if we're coming through clearly or not, especially on YouTube. If you can hear us, someone let us know. We just want to make sure everything is going smoothly. Echo and Facebook. All good.
Somebody said it's all good.
All right, Carol said it's all good.
So maybe the echo, because if you're hearing the echo, was that Aaron?
Yeah.
That could be because you are for both Facebook and YouTube. Maybe those two things are conflicting somehow. Yeah. But people on Facebook are saying it's alright. Saying we alright. Yeah. That's good.
I'm hoping when we play we got some videos to play later. I'm hoping it will.
Yeah,
work. We couldn't hear the opening, the intro.
Yeah,
so,
the computer updated like right before we were about to come on, and that just screwed up the live environment we were we're using. So
we'll see.
We gonna have to, we might need y'all help so we can keep an eye on it, cause
let's see.
And Facebook always seems to throw some wrenches in the game.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Alright, let me just see something real quick. Recording playback device.
They said, Carol says there's a little bit of static.
You see the speakers on that. That's not what it should be at. Speaker should be right here. That's what speaker should be on right there. Okay. Alright, I'm recording. Alright, just bear with us for just a second. Make sure. Alright. Okay. So who said there's static on Facebook?
Carol. It says some staticky swooshing going on.
Some staticky swooshing.
That's an interesting description. I really like that.
Yeah.
Staticky swooshing. See, I can't hear anything.
Well, that's on Facebook. We ain't got the sound on Facebook.
We only plugged into the sound.
As long as y'all can hear us and we're clear.
Yeah, we only can plug in.
It's accurate. Okay.
We only can plug into the YouTube feed, so we don't have the capability to plug into two. You know, we broke broadcasters, so that's how it goes.
All right, sure. YouTube is fine. Celeste says we can hear you.
See, I knew somebody was going to bring that up, Bobby.
What?
Of course. Well, at least you got your matching shirts. Man, I knew somebody was going to bring us out.
Yeah. See,
that wasn't planned.
Unplanned.
And that's not planned.
We do not coordinate.
We don't coordinate. We don't do that. Dude, don't do that.
We do not coordinate. You know what? And I wanted to start it off with one of the funniest things we've seen today. One of the funniest things we've seen today.
I don't see how you gonna get that to Facebook though. See, Facebook got to see this too.
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, we can do it real quick. I wonder if anybody's seen.
See, usually when it comes to memes, I mean, there's some funny ones out there.
Yeah, there's some funny ones.
You know
but usually it doesn't. I mean, usually it's not that funny.
Usually it's not that funny.
Yeah.
But this one, it didn't make me laugh. It made me like choke up.
Yeah.
I was like, made me choke up.
It was surprising, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna bring it up. All right, but we have a lot of things to talk about. Going to be talking about tax reform. Some details have been released. The Republicans are trying to get that done in Congress. We're going to be talking about that.
And we're going to talk about something y'all know we're going to talk about. And probably on a lot of people's minds, and that's Miss Donna Brazile.
Yeah, her comments. Yeah.
Her comments.
If nobody has seen these comments, we're gonna talk about them.
I think from my Facebook feed, there's a lot of people who chime in on that.
Yeah, so. Yeah, it's very funny. It's very funny. Very funny. Let's see if I can.
You got to right click it, or actually click.
Oh, you know what? I got to click on it first.
Yeah.
You know what would probably be easier is doing it on this one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, we most definitely gonna cover that Donna Brazile madness. Also, these highly unnecessary and pointless hearings on Facebook and Russia, social media. That whole thing is getting under my skin, man, because like they're just wasting time and money.
Mm-hmm. They've got lawyers from Twitter, lawyers from Facebook, lawyers from Google there questioning them, trying to grill them. And yeah, we're gonna get to some of the comments that the senators made, and some comments that a certain host on MSNBC made as well, because what he said was absolutely ridiculous.
I guess I don't.
Certain things that
I don't watch MSNBC like that. I had never even heard of this dude.
I've heard of him before, but
never heard of this dude, man.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, I was like, is he serious?
Yeah, he's serious. Yeah. But yeah, it seems like a lot of this stuff today is most of it is funny. Most of it is funny. At least, we think it's
funny in an ironic and a sad way.
Yeah. But, all right. Here we go. Let's see. Let me bring it over here. See, if we had a producer to set this whole thing up. See. We just saw that. Well, we just saw this just recently. All right, here we go. I don't think we've worn the same color shirt before too, though. Like the same solid color shirt. I mean, I know they're different.
Man, don't feed it, dog.
Yeah.
Don't feed it.
It's just a coincidence.
Yeah, you know you feeding it.
Yeah, I'm feeding it. I'm feeding it though.
But yeah, it's just a coincidence, man. We don't be planning wardrobe.
Yeah, I know we've worn like stripes before. Like, oh, twins.
Yeah, I'm like just stripes alone that makes us twins. Come on now.
All right. So yeah, all right. So it looks like we got it on Facebook first.
So yeah, Facebook people gonna see it first.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was like, I could the laugh couldn't come fast enough, so I like choked.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, that's some savage shit right there.
This was one of the funniest things that we saw today. Like there have been a lot of funny things we have seen today, but this was one of the funniest things that we have seen. Yeah, and if you see it, it says that was the only hacking I saw during the election. Oh, that's funny. All right, hold on. Let me put it on.
So Facebook, y'all about to get. I mean, YouTube, y'all about to get a second.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. All right, and bam. All right, yeah. So this was one of the funniest things that we saw today. This was a meme that I had seen on Twitter, and
I'm like, that's so petty, dog.
Yeah, it was very petty.
So petty.
It was very petty, man. Yeah, it was below the belt too, man. But it was really funny because we saw a number of times Miss Clinton hacking it up, and when you juxtapose that to the
whole Russian hacking, yeah,
it's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That was one of the
I got it. That's on like that's on like MAME level 5,000 right there.
I'm saying, and then you got all the pictures of her coughing, man. Because I mean, come on, man. There were a lot of them. It was funny. Anyway, all right. So let's get to it. There was a shooting in Colorado, in Thornton, Colorado, last night. It was around. It was in the evening time last night at a Walmart. apparently a man calmly walked inside a Walmart and began shooting near the entrance. He began shooting people near the cash registers near the entrance. And it seems like he was shooting indiscriminately. It was at random. He, at some point, he stopped shooting, and just as calmly as he walked in the store, he walked out of the store. So police were trying to figure out who he was and trying to apprehend him for a few hours, several hours, and they finally did, and they identified the man as 47-year-old Scott Ostream, and they have indicated that it does seem to be a shooting that was at random. As of now, they don't really have any details about the motive. It just seems like he walked in and he started shooting at random, and 3 people died. There was two men, I believe. Yeah, 2 men and 1 woman. 1 woman died, and then we haven't heard any details about anybody that was injured though.
How old was the dude?
He was 47 years old. Okay. Yeah, well, he is 47 years old. So yeah, but good thing they did apprehend him, and yeah, I mean that's as much news as I got out of it so far. It happened last night, and I guess.
What kind of gun did he have? Like
he had a handgun.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a handgun. So, another shooting, another tragedy. You know, we see this far too often. Also, the Manhattan tragedy that just happened a couple days ago. So 8 people did die in that tragedy, and that I don't know if I said it was a shooting, but the truck attack where the suspect drove into the bicycle lane and mowed down a number of people. 8 people died, 13 people were injured. They've identified the suspect as Sayfullo Sapov. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he is a Uzbekistan national, and he came over here in 2010. Now, it said that he has planned the attack for weeks, and he is alive. He was shot in the abdomen by a police officer, but they captured him. He's in the hospital, and from what I believe some hospital workers that are on the floor have said is that he's very happy with the assault. He's very happy about what he's done, and like I said,
the crime scene is pretty long, because they said the portion that he drove up onto, and ultimately when he crashed into the school bus, like from the point where he drove up to that point where he crashed into the school bus, they said it was almost a mile.
Yeah, it was pretty long. Yeah, I think some people thought it was part of like a Halloween thing, but no.
Yeah, some people think it was part of a Halloween thing, and some people think it's part of another false flag.
Yeah, of course they do.
That's the unfortunate thing.
There's nothing to suggest that this is a false flag.
Not right now.
Yeah,
not right now. There's
especially not right now.
Yeah, not right now.
But we talked about it a little bit. We didn't have a lot of details on Tuesday about it, but this is from the New York Times. It says Mr. Saipov, 29, rented a pickup truck from a Home Depot in New Jersey at 2:06 p.m. on Tuesday before crossing into Manhattan on the George Washington Bridge, the police said. In the first public timeline provided by authorities, at 3:04 p.m. a camera caught him driving onto a bike path alongside the Hudson River, where the police said he appeared to be targeting pedestrians and cyclists as he mowed people down. So yeah, they do have a timeline of the events. I'm sure they have some camera footage. You know, there's a lot of cameras
in New York,
in the New York City area, and this was near the World Trade Center. Of course, they have some video footage of the event, so they can piece together exactly what happened and when it happened. But yeah, like you said, he crashed into a bus and he hopped out, and he had 2 different guns on him. He had a pellet gun and he had a paint gun on him, which is very strange.
I'm trying to figure out what did he think he was going to do. I think, maybe he wanted it to be like a suicide by cop situation. Usually when you because he put himself out in the open on purpose. It didn't, and honestly, it didn't really look like he was trying to like get away. He was kind of like running away from the scene, but he didn't have like the urgency about him that would indicate that he was trying to like get away. Right. It didn't look like he wanted to just like make himself known.
And why would you arm yourself?
And
with
why would you
a pellet gun and a paintball gun?
Yeah, again, well, maybe he couldn't get his hands on like a real gun. Maybe he couldn't get his hands on a real gun, and like I said, he wanted to find something that was, I guess, similar or close enough to a real gun. To maybe he wanted to be a suicide by cop situation. But
investigators said too that there were knives found in the vehicle as well, I believe.
He left those like. So you think?
Yeah,
that just seems weird. Like you don't bring knives in there unless you plan on doing something with those knives. So you would think after he, ran over those people on the bikes, he would have like got out, maybe started stabbing people or something.
Start stabbing people,
but he didn't do that.
He didn't do that. No, like I said, he was shot by a police officer, and they were able to apprehend him. They also found, I don't know if it was inside the truck or outside the truck, but they found a note, and the note appeared to be his pledge to allegiance. And this attack, this certain type of attack that he used, like a truck attack, it seemed very similar, or actually it seems very exact to instructions that ISIS had provided in some magazine in last year of November. The magazine's called Rumayah, and it was calling on followers of ISIS to carry out a truck attack and then leave a note pledging allegiance to ISIS. So, investigators saying that this is pretty much to a T what he actually did. So that doesn't bode well for the conspiracy theorists.
Well, see, actually, no. Well, I'm a conspiracy theorist too, a little bit.
Yeah.
But to me, that just, when mugs start leaving notes and stuff.
Yeah.
When mugs start leaving notes, it doesn't rub me the right way, man. When mugs start leaving notes and stuff, especially if they are referencing some, I guess, ISIS how-to online.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
That's
especially when it deals with ISIS, and you people's senses are always up when it deals with what some people would call radical Islamic terrorism.
But we could kind of like, I guess, remember the history of kind of government trying to use terrorism. You know what I'm saying? Trying to use terrorism to, I guess, to stoke fear in everybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, because they use different mechanisms to stoke fear, and I think kind of terrorism is that kind of number one hat, that hat trick.
No doubt, because this will give them the ability to wreak havoc all over the globe too, right? Fighting terrorism. We have to go get the bad guys. And this Muslim ban that Trump wants, hey, that's good news too. I mean, see what happens? We don't want people here. We don't want people here from these.
This is what happens when we, don't vet people. This is what happens when we, have open borders and all this stuff.
Even though we vet people, all the time.
Yeah, that's
regular process.
Like that's kind of my only concern, is that like how this military-industrial complex is kind of snowballed.
Right.
How it's been snowballed is directly related to the war on terror, and so I always kind of, give a bit of a side eye anytime certain terrorist acts go down like this and the terrorist is not killed. I guess if I am a police officer coming up on a situation where I know somebody has violently run over a lot of bikers, or bicyclers, to be more exact, I'm considering that person to be like very, very dangerous. And if they have a gun, and just like most officers, what do most officers, say, even when the suspect doesn't have a gun, shoot to kill, and I'm afraid for my life.
Right.
Now, he was holding what two guns. Now, of course, they don't know whether they're real or not. So you would think that they would approach the situation like this is a dangerous madman. So I find it kind of suspicious that they shot him in the stomach. Are they thinking ahead like that, Are they really thinking ahead to be like, you know what? I want to disable him, shoot him in the stomach because we're gonna need to get information from this guy. You know what I'm saying?
It is fishy though. I mean, no doubt. I mean, I think we've said before too that when situations arise, there's good reason to have skepticism. There's good reason to have a distrust for the government and just be, you know, on heightened alert, to pay attention to inconsistencies, things that don't make sense, of course. So yeah, we're gonna be paying attention to the situation. How many times did the police officer shoot at this suspect? I don't know.
Because they only did, from what I heard, it's like one gunshot to the abdomen.
Yeah,
it's like they're
labeling the cop. I saw in one article they're labeling him as like a, I don't know, like a specialist or something like that. I don't think I saw the word sniper, but like a sharpshooter or something like that. I don't know if that's just because he was able to hit him. I don't know. It is fishy. I will give you that.
But like you know, when certain things like this happen, I do think it's a little bit selfish, a little bit self-centered to look at how it's going to affect us, because most likely it's not going to affect us too much directly. It's probably going to affect other countries,
no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Or neighborhoods in America,
or certain neighborhoods in America,
certain people,
and of course, what conversation did this event spark?
This sparked conversation about the whole immigration. It sparked the conversation about immigration. So after this, Donald Trump put out a tweet, and this was the tweet he put out. He said, "The terrorists came into our country through what is called the Diversity Visa Lottery Program, a Chuck Schumer beauty. I want merit-based." So this began conversation, and a lot of Republican senators were signaling that they too wanted to talk about this issue right now after this tragedy. They wanted to talk about this diversity visa program because, well, it's suspected that this suspect, what was his name again, Sapov, he came here in 2010 on one of these visa programs, one of these visas. And what the visa actually is, or what it does, it benefits up to about 50,000 people per year. And it's from countries with lower levels of immigration to the U.S. So it is like a lottery program, but there still is vetting that has to be that takes place.
Yeah, it's essentially a meritocracy.
Yeah, it is. Because this is from CNN right here, right? Okay. So diversity recipients specifically must also have at least a high school education or equivalent, and must have had at least 2 years of experience working a job that requires at least 2 years of training or experience within 5 years of the date of the application. They must also be admissible to the U.S. Categories of inadmissibility to the U.S. broadly include terrorism connections, and they also have to go through a in-person interview. Now, this kind of sparked a back and forth between Chuck Schumer and Donald Trump, because on the tweet that Donald Trump put out there, he referenced Chuck Schumer, talking about it was a Chuck Schumer beauty.
It's basically saying like, this is on you. You're at fault for this tragedy.
Yeah. And I see, and like I said, that sparked a back and forth between them. And Chuck Schumer said, well, he said, well, we don't know the details of this person. The green card program has a long, serious vetting program. It takes a year. So before we can comment, we have to see what happened with this individual person. He said that at a press conference. Now, again, like outside of that, him and Trump were going back and forth on Twitter. And the whole bringing Chuck Schumer into this argument, into this conversation, is because how this, if you want to call it the diversity visa lottery program, if you want to call it that, I don't know if that is actually like the actual name of it, like the official name. It actually started in 1990 with the Immigration Act. So it was part of a bill, and Schumer was in the House in 1990, and he was one of the co-sponsors of the bill. So this bill passed the Democratic-controlled House. It passed it 264 to 118. It passed the Democratic-controlled Senate 89 to 8. Now, especially when you take a look at the Senate numbers, 89-8, that means a large number of Republican senators voted in approval of this bill. Some of those Republican senators are current Republican senators. Mitch McConnell, Thad Cochran, Chuck Grassley, Orrin Hatch, John McCain, all signed it into, all voted for it in the Senate. Now, if we want to take a look a little bit further, in 1990, who was the president? In 1990.
I think it started with a B. I think it started with a B. My memory escapes me, but I think it started with a B.
Wasn't it? Hold on. You know what? We just talked about him recently.
We just talked about him. It had something to do with, his new name is Booty Bandit.
Yeah, Booty Bandit. Yeah, the sexual predator, the dude that's been accused of sexual assault, and the dude that apologized for it.
Wheelchair Willie.
Yeah, Wheelchair Willie. George W.H. Bush. He was the president in 1990. He signed it into legislation, and his comments when he signed it into legislation, he said he was happy to do so. So how is this
a partisan issue?
How is this a Chuck Schumer?
Yeah, specifically. But see, that because it's not about Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer, he's using Chuck Schumer as a symbol. He's using Chuck Schumer as a symbol for Democrats. It's not really about Chuck Schumer.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Not, no. And then, like I said, as Chuck Schumer and Donald Trump were battling back and forth, Chuck Schumer says, "I guess it's not too soon to politicize a tragedy." See, that's absolutely correct.
Isn't that interesting, right?
Yes.
That. When almost 58 people get killed.
No, 58.
58
people get killed. Hundreds get injured. In Las Vegas.
You can't have a conversation after that.
You cannot. Remember the press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, said, this isn't the time to talk about that kind of policy issues. This is the time for condolences. There is a time. There will be a time. We'll be happy to discuss at that time.
But we won't tell you when that time is.
Won't tell you when that time
and
is. And that time hasn't come up yet because they haven't talked about it.
Yeah, and probably will never come up. So again, it's still that whole don't politicize this issue.
Yeah, unless it's us doing the politicizing.
But when did this terrorist act happen? It happened a few days ago.
Well, it happened a day before Donald Trump's comments.
So there
One
you
day.
go. So what you're saying is they have used this event to bring the subject up. They used this event to bring the subject of the immigrant diversity program.
Yeah. So you're telling me that because of an event, because of a tragedy that happened to Americans here domestically on U.S. land, U.S. soil, because of an event happened, and you don't want to see it happen again, you're proposing ideas to try to rectify the situation so something like this doesn't happen going forward. You're using the tragedy to say, hey, let's be responsible as a society and fix these things that are happening, or fix the root of the problem. But isn't that what a lot of people want to happen when
what's so funny?
Somebody is using automatic fire to shoot hundreds of people? Like, isn't that what happened? Like, it's not like people are just saying, oh, you know what? I hate guns, so I'm just trying to find a way to bring it up. Nah, like, there's a lot of people that own guns that want something done in this country because they see a problem. They see that we're not acting responsibly as a nation, as a society. There's a problem. So people want something done. So when we see countless people killed and injured because of an accessory that has no place in our society, when you see people like trying to use this situation and say, look, come on, let's be responsible. Let's be intellectual. Let's do something for the goodwill of the American people. They say, no, now is not the time to do that.
They don't want to politicize the issue. But
But it's not about politicizing.
But see, one response that you usually hear when there's any kind of talk about possible, I guess, gun regulation. Or it's not actually really gun regulation. It's actually people regulation because it has to do with background checks. But, you know, one common response you hear people say, or, you know, one common response you hear from people is, it might affect law-abiding citizens, right? You see what I'm saying? So now let's look at that same kind of attitude within the context of the visa diversity program.
Okay.
So even though it's on even though it's a meritocracy already, even though there's red tape that they have to go through before they're granted a visa, there's checks and balances, right?
Yeah, there are.
Okay, so trying to somehow use this terrorist circumstance to bring attention to something that may not really need any tweaking at all, that's already has provisions set forth, wouldn't you think that would maybe affect some law-abiding citizens too in this issue? Wouldn't that affect law-abiding citizens? Because when you talk about the crime rate of immigrants, isn't it lower? And the crime rate,
it's much lower.
It's much lower.
Much lower.
So why can't I use that same talking point? Why can't I bring forth that same kind of argument? Oh, it's going to affect law-abiding citizens. To me, that proves that it has nothing to do with that.
Well, I have an answer.
What?
Because what you're talking about, like when it's okay for them to politicize a tragedy, politicize an event, it doesn't affect the NRA. Has no effect on the NRA whatsoever. But when you're talking about guns, no. The NRA has spoken and they say do nothing, so these politicians will do nothing. Of course, a lot of Democrats have jumped on this opportunity to say, aha, you're politicizing the tragedy, and the Congressional Black Caucus, they quickly knocked the president. They said he's politicizing a national tragedy to further his anti-immigrant agenda. And so I agree, okay? I totally agree with that. But miss me with all this, straight up, because we saw that, and we've referenced it so many times, how Democrats in the House staged a sit-in because they wanted something done on gun violence. They wanted some gun reform legislation, something happened, something done. But they didn't do that. They didn't go that far when they actually had a democratically controlled House and a Senate. They didn't find the time to actually, go that far and to project that tough of an image. So it's both sides doing the same thing. Oh, you're politicizing a tragedy. No, you're politicizing a tragedy, and they do nothing. This doesn't work. It's just bickering back and forth across the aisle. So
what happens is it kind of lends credence to, both sides are equally the same. Yeah. So it muddies the water and doesn't allow us to talk about these things in a nuanced way because they're doing the same thing. Even if the motives might be a little different, even if there are some Republicans and or Democrats that are trying to approach this in a more genuine way, there's no way to know because they all do it at the wrong time, and they all accuse each other of doing the same thing. So it's hard to parse out these things, you know what I'm saying?
That's why what they say means nothing to me. It has no effect on me, because if you're actually interested in humanity, if you're actually interested in implementing ideas, finding solutions for mankind, to improve our situations here in America, then why wouldn't you be providing insurance for every single American here? Why wouldn't you be making sure that all of our kids have access to top-notch higher education? Why wouldn't you do a simple thing like ban bump fire stocks? That's the simplest thing that can be done, because there's no reason to oppose it. You already have in place here in America, automatic weapons are banned. Now, it's not like it's a certain type of weapon, like it's structured in a certain way that you don't like. What you don't like about it, what you think is irresponsible, is that it shoots automatic fire. So if you don't like automatic fire for private citizens, then why would you allow automatic fire as a result of an accessory that can be placed on a semi-automatic weapon? It doesn't make sense, because they're not interested. They're not interested in what's good for the people. I know. They're not interested.
Honestly, I just think I don't think anything's going to actually come out of this. I think that Republicans are using this as an opportunity to make themselves look like they are going to like keep people safe. Because like I said, why would you kind of present this narrative that there is no vetting at all? Why would you present that narrative knowing that there is vetting? All you're doing is trying to use this situation to present themselves as if they're going to fight terrorism.
Right. It's foreign terrorism.
They're tough on terrorism. Yeah. So I think it's just
fear-mongering.
I think it's a bit of fear-mongering, and it's just kind of, they're just I would say they're doing like this like political modeling show. You know what I'm saying? They're doing this political modeling. They're just running. They're just walking up and down the runway. Because I don't think it actually means anything. I just think it's just a front. They're just using this opportunity to make themselves look like they're somehow strong on radical Islamic terrorism.
But with Trump,
I just think it's boastfulness. I don't think there's really anything that's going to come out of it.
No.
I don't think that they're going to make any changes. Actually, I don't think they're planning on making any changes. I think it's just talk.
Well, it fits into the Trump narrative, because coming from his campaign, coming from his administration, what does he want to do? He wants to ban Muslim countries. He wants to ban those individuals from coming into the country, right? Okay. He's talked about Mexicans, right? Okay. And here he's talking about he's comfortable politicizing this tragedy to say that we need to do something about immigration again. It just fits in line. It falls right into the pattern that is Donald Trump. Is anything actually going to happen? No, because the Democrats are going to be like, no. The Republicans are going to be like, yeah. It's the same thing that we see all the time. They are the same types of people. Nothing's going to get done. Nothing. And in this particular example, should anything be done when, like you just said, there is a vetting process, a long vetting process? There's standards at play here. It's not just like anybody like wins the lottery. Oh, I can get in now. No, there's a vetting process.
That's why I think it's just one of those moments where they're just trying to poke their chest out,
and look tough and look like they're interested in the safety of the American people.
And see, and those the two parties play on each other. Yeah, so now you have the Republicans trying to politicize this issue, trying to make themselves look like, the tough party.
Right. They're the party that's tough on terrorism.
We're gonna protect you. It's the Democrats that don't care about your safety. So what happens is it almost forces this knee-jerk response from Democrats, which is equally as empty. So you have kind of you have these empty gestures, or you have more or less empty chest poking, and then the Democrats will then have to respond with something just as empty.
Well,
so it's just like a rinse, wash, repeat cycle.
Both parties have carved out their own niche in politics. The Republicans, they're big, bad, and tough on foreign terrorism. The Democrats, big, bad, and tough on domestic terrorism. See, neither one wants to talk about the other. They just go at each other just like this, and they never come to any kind of solutions that are actually going to be good for us. Nothing gets done. Nothing's going to be done, because this is who they are. They're the same people. They're just on opposite sides. All right. So let's move on. All right. Yeah. Facebook. That's it. It's all over. Well, no. We're going to continue the show on YouTube. We have the link in the heading on Facebook. If you would just click the link and you'll be able to see the rest of the show.
Yeah, y'all better come over, because we still got to talk about Donna. We still got to talk about Donna.
Capadonna.
Donna. Donna B. Got to talk about Donna B.
Capadonna. Breaking news.
That no one knew about.
No one. Oh, and there's also more breaking news tied to that situation as well that we just saw right before we came onto the show.
It's breaking news.
Breaking news. So anyway, all right, we'll see you over there on YouTube. All right. YouTube. All right. So before we get to that breaking news, we're gonna stay on Trump for just a little bit because we have a few more things to discuss with his administration. Of course, we've talked about tax reform, how Donald Trump wants to cut taxes, and he says that the tax cuts that he is suggesting are going to be the biggest that has been seen since Ronald Reagan. They're actually going to be even bigger than what Ronald Reagan did, and it's going to be such a positive for the country, especially the middle class. But I wanted to bring your attention to a couple of tweets that he put out yesterday. This is what he put out. He said, "Wouldn't it be great to repeal the very unfair and unpopular individual mandate in Obamacare and use those savings for further tax cuts for the middle class? The House and Senate should consider ASAP as the process of final approval moves along. Push biggest tax cuts ever."
Wait a second. Wait. So essentially, if you're repealing the individual mandate, right, which turns out to be a net gain at the end for middle class people, how are you trying to present this as some sort of benefit? If you destroy the individual mandate, that means their premiums are gonna go up.
But see, come on, see, you're just not paying attention to what Trump wants to do. You remember a few shows ago, we talked about how Trump wanted to. He wanted to expand healthcare, and he was going to do it with the stroke of a pen. You remember that? And really, what that was about was short-term healthcare plans. And I believe at the moment those only last about 3 months. So to actually get that done, to make any headway, to create this mass exodus of people leaving their ACA plans, you would have to extend that time frame of short-term healthcare plans, and you would have to do away with that individual mandate, because the short-term healthcare plans do not satisfy the individual mandate. So by Trump trying to kill the individual mandate,
he's trying to force people over into those short-term plans, because he knows if the individual mandate's not there, as you know, the marketplace is not there,
right,
that's competition,
right?
And so he knows that the ACA is really not going to implode.
Yeah. So on the front end, for people, it'll be a positive for people on the front end, because they're like, oh snap, my Obamacare plan is so expensive. The premiums are going up, the co-pays going up, the deductibles going up. If I get me a short-term healthcare plan, man, that would be great for me. Now, for healthy people, that might be okay, but for sick people that regularly go to the doctor or need appointments, that need work done, that's not going to be so good for them, is it? Because one, they could be denied coverage, or whatever they need could be very, very, very expensive.
And I think another kind of a corporate benefit to these little 3-month little short plans is the opportunity to just have the opportunity to raise the rates.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if these healthy people do leave the ACA plans, what's going to be left are the sick people, and of course those rates are going to skyrocket. And yeah, you'll have access to coverage, but will you really have access to coverage? Will you be able to afford that access to coverage?
So at the end of the day, him taking away the individual mandate is going to be a net loss for the middle class. He says is going to get a tax cut.
No doubt. And so this idea now is being backed by Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas, and it also has the backing of the House Freedom Caucus Chairman Mark Meadows. Now, right now, I don't know. It doesn't seem like this is actually going to get done, though. Like Trump's idea, I don't think is really going to get done because there are a number of Republicans that are like, I don't know if we're going to have the votes for that.
Oh no, not only that, because as it's currently written, it's projected to increase the deficit by trillions of dollars over the next 10 years, and then increase the deficit beyond that point.
Yeah.
So it's like it's perpetual. But if he's going to present this as some sort of I guess a similar a tax proposal based on Ronald Reagan, like that created a huge deficit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But just the individual mandate part of it, though, just that, Republicans are like, that's like toxic, like it's like a cancer, because so, you know how people.
He's trying to. So Trump is just trying to throw this in there.
Yeah, he's trying to throw it in, but Republicans are like, we know the environment here. If you actually try to interject this kind of conversation into tax reform, you're going to kill any chances that we have at actually passing what we want to get done with this tax reform.
So he's not a great negotiator.
No, come on, man.
Because again, he wants it all.
Yeah.
Now, he wants it all.
The CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, they've estimated that if they do go ahead and kill the individual mandate, it would save the government $416 billion over a decade. Now, that's a lot of moolah, right? That's a lot of cash. That's a lot of cash to give to corporate welfare. That's a lot of cash to spend on the military, like new military toys that are used or maybe that are not used. That's enough to spend on military operations globally so that they can continue to destabilize different areas, different regions. That's a lot of money that they can do a lot of damage with. They don't want to spend that on people. I mean, like the middle class people. Man, they don't want to spend that on middle class.
They don't want to spend that on keeping people healthy.
Nah, man. They see that, like I said, $416 billion over a decade. They could put that to horrible use, but it'll be good for their wealthy friends. It'll be good for government contractors. Good for war. But anyway, so onto the actual details of the tax reform, right? So it was actually presented today on Thursday, and Paul Ryan was all excited about it, and it's called the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Now, did you hear what it was what Trump suggested that it could be called?
No.
You didn't hear about it?
No.
Donald Trump suggested that this act be called the Cuts Act. the Cut Act. 3 cuts. The Cut Act. That's so bad. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders even took a question about that. Like, was Donald Trump serious about is it actually going to be called the Cut Act? And she was like, "Hey, look, we don't really care what it's called. If it's going to do what we mean for it to do and help the middle class, it can be called whatever. He's just interested in the effects. But the Cut Act is just.
I think your daughter could probably come up with a better name for it
in like 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
5 seconds, man.
But I think it's pretty funny to qualify a tax cut with job creation. Like, good and well the fact that they put that in there, that it doesn't do that. Why would they? You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that they put that in there.
They have to stipulate it, right in the title.
You stipulate it right on the title. They're trying to it's like it's like they're trying to show you this nice chocolate cake with the icing on the outside, but on the inside
it's hollow.
It's hollow. That's rotten. It's rotten. Not just hollow. It's rotten.
Yeah.
So it's like they got to put that out there. Like who does that? Who does that? You have to kind of juxtapose tax cuts with job creation to kind of obscure what the actual tax cut is going to do. Like that to me, that's so transparent.
Why
would they have to do that?
But see, people aren't going to pay attention to that, because the people that support him, the people that are feeling like he actually is going to provide tax cuts for the middle class in a very positive way, jobs for the middle class, they see that title and like, well, damn straight.
But that has
it shouldn't be called anything else. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
But it's not going to create.
You're over here.
I'm just saying, like, that.
I know.
Demand creates jobs. Like, it's not like demand for goods and services and products is not just going to be like, what? Like, after the tax cut,
because he named it.
Because he named it that. Because it's going to do that just because they named it that.
But anyway, so we've talked about we've talked about certain things that are going to be coming because of this tax reform. We didn't have all the details when we discussed it, but it does exactly what we said it was going to do. It's going to eliminate the estate tax. It's going to drastically cut taxes for corporations down to, I think, 20%, which is so funny though, you know, and I don't think we talked about this last time, but when Donald Trump says, and Republicans too, they've always been talking about reducing taxes for corporations because we just can't compete here. You know, that's the whole reason why corporations are stashing their money overseas and not bringing it back, because the corporate tax rate is just too damn high, right? Do corporations actually pay 35% in taxes? Is that their effective tax rate? No, it's not. Their effective tax rate is actually in the teens.
So they're already getting off pretty much scot-free. So all that's going to happen now is that's going to get
it's going to go down even more. So it's not going to be, I think, because it's in like it's about 17-18% is what the effective tax rate is for corporations. So what is that going to go down to now? Below 10%? Who's going to pick up that? Who's going to pick up that difference?
I wonder who. I wonder.
Because since about the 60s, it's already been happening. That weight has been shifted on
the middle class.
Middle class.
It's about to get worse. And there was pretty much nothing in this tax plan that benefits poor people. Nothing.
Yeah, they say they're gonna. Well, yeah, it's gonna increase the standard deduction, but the things that they say are going to work in favor of the middle class, it like the income disparity, or like the wealth gap is going to increase because far more is being done for the wealthy than is being done for the middle class or the poor. So yeah, you can say like, oh, these are specifically for middle class and poor people, right? But if you do more for the wealthy, how good is that actually for the middle class? And you're propping them up like that doesn't make sense, but people aren't reading into those details though.
Not only that, if all these tax cuts are top heavy and create the deficits, I guess, that are projected, that's going to, at the end of the day, affect our credit rating. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That's going to lower our credit rating because that's going to affect bond issuance. You know what I'm saying? So,
and like you said, yeah, it was reported weeks ago that the effects of this tax reform legislation would increase the deficit by trillions of dollars over the next 10 years. Now, as Vox reports, that's a big problem. Under Senate rules, some legislation can pass with only 51 votes, only if it doesn't increase the long-run deficit. So the current draft of the legislation would probably need 60 votes instead, meaning significant Democratic support, which Republican leaders haven't been even trying to court. They need legislation that can pass with 51 votes, and for that, they need the bill to not raise the long-run deficit. So what we see as this current draft of this legislation, I don't believe it's going to stay like that. Not if they actually want something to actually get passed. Because to get Democrats on board, you're going to have to amend this legislation. They're going to need 60 votes. I mean, I know the Democrats are horrible.
But you're saying they're not that horrible.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to sign on to this because, and just today, I saw Nancy Pelosi and I saw Chuck Schumer giving a press conference, and they were talking about the the disadvantages to this tax reform legislation, and how it was absolutely going to be horrible, dreadful for middle class and poor class people. So they're not signing on to this. Democrats are like, no, they're not about to do this. So, like I said, the current draft that we see today, the current details that have been presented to us by the Republicans, it's not what's going to get passed. This is just their this is like they're playing their ace right here. It's like, okay, we want this, okay? I don't think they're going to get this though. Because like I said, they're going to have to get Democratic support, but they're not going to get that. So, I don't know if they're actually going to come to some kind of negotiation, some kind of agreement. Like, what are the Democrats going to absolutely not accept? I don't know.
I think this kind of connects to Donald Trump's position about American companies competing again. Because if you think about, I guess, when people are desperate, right? When people are desperate, what do they do when it comes to jobs? They're more willing to take a lower paying job. Yeah. So when you create a certain type of, when you create kind of an economic climate that's kind of, I guess, a consequence of certain tax policy, you're going to put people in a position where they're desperate. So when people are desperate, they're probably going to be more willing to take a job that doesn't pay a lot, therefore increasing the revenue of corporations. And then on top of that, they don't have to pay a high tax rate that they used to. So
it's all a boom for the wealthy, for the
corporations. And you know what's going to happen, even though the gap between the wealthy and the middle class and poor class is going to get bigger, it's going to be obscured by like the GDP. The GDP is going to definitely go up because the rich are going to benefit hand over fist. So it's going to give this impression that we're doing good when we're really not.
When we're actually doing good as a country, the middle class is thriving because it is the middle class that is out there actually spending the money in our economy. They're going to movies. They're going on vacation.
Buying food.
Going to restaurants. They're spending money. They're buying TVs. They're buying furniture,
cars,
whatever have you. The middle class is what keeps a society thriving. And if you don't have that, if middle class doesn't have any money, what's going to happen? It's going to be the same situation that we have right here. These tax cuts, like we said, are going to benefit the absolutely wealthy. It's not going to do anything for our status, for our current status. It seems like the Democrats know that, but again, how far are they going to push back? I just wonder, like, how far are they going to actually push the Republicans into a corner? Like, are they going to mandate that the SALT, the state and local taxes? Because with this legislation, people in those high state income tax areas, they won't be able to write off those taxes anymore. And those are blue states too, like New York. Those are like California. Are they going to push back on that? Are they going to have significant pushback on that? I don't know. I don't know. Is anything going to get done? Are they going to come to a compromise? I don't even know that.
Yeah, because if you're talking about blue states, then you're talking about their constituency. So,
and I believe what Trump said, he wanted this done by Christmas. Like, get me a bill by Christmas. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is going to be a long process, a very long process, if it actually even does anything, if it actually gets to Donald Trump. I don't even know if that's going to happen. Like I said, you're probably going to have 60 votes on this. Because with the measures that the Republicans included, again, is going to significantly increase the national deficit. And if that happens, you need 60 votes. Are they going to
they have no choice but to negotiate.
Yeah. They have no choice.
But
the only choice they have is to pull back some of the stuff that they put in that would increase the national deficit. Now, are they going to do that? I don't think they're going to do that.
But we're in a kind of weird conundrum where you're trying to compromise over something so regressive.
I know.
You see what I'm saying? Like we're talking about compromising on something that's regressive.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like it's all bad.
It's all bad. Yeah, bad for the middle class. So again, we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm expecting a long process if it even actually ever ends up on Donald Trump's decks. So, all right. So let's go ahead and have a chat, okay?
We need to start digging. Like this seriously. We're gonna a serious excavation segment right here.
Look, man, we have some serious breaking news to talk about. All right. If you haven't heard this yet, okay, we're going to break the news to you because this was breaking news to us.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure most of the audience probably didn't know this.
No. You probably didn't know this. So, all right. So let's begin. Breaking news. Okay. All right. So, the former interim chair for the DNC, Donna Brazile, has a new book that's coming out, and in this book, she reveals breaking news. The breaking news is that Hillary Clinton rigged the Democratic primaries. You know what? And before we address that, in other breaking news,
no.
You know, in other breaking news, water is wet. The sun rises every single day.
Oh, sandpaper?
Yeah,
is rough. Did you know that? Did you know sandpaper was
breaking
rough?
news?
Breaking news.
I got one more, dog.
Cotton balls are soft.
Got one more, man. Candy corn is disgusting.
Oh,
sorry,
no, dog.
Sorry, I said it.
You know
I said it, man.
You know that's blasphemy to some people.
Look, man, I said it. What and what?
You know that's blasphemy.
Look, man, candy corn on a tangent.
Yo, it is garbage.
Yeah,
it's garbage. It's garbage.
Yo, candy corn is quite possibly that candy that is so divisive to people. It's the most polarizing candy probably in history.
Doesn't it have like
either you love it or you cannot
isn't it like
stand
isn't it like 3 parts?
There's 3 parts.
It's like white, yellow, and orange. Or basically it's like gross, grosser, and indigestible. That's basically what it is.
Garbage. I know we're going to get some hate because of that. Because like I said, it's polarizing. Either people love it or cannot stand it. I'm in the latter. Hate it. Now, I digress. That was off subject. But, you know, Halloween just did pass. It
looks like Halloween is actually not over.
Yeah, I know, right?
After this, you know, this breaking news.
So, yeah, on to the breaking news again. So, like I said, in Donna Brazile's upcoming book, she revealed that Hillary Clinton did, in fact, rig the Democratic primaries. So, she said that she had her suspicions about Hillary Clinton as soon as she, you know, succeeded DWS, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She had her suspicions that Hillary Clinton was a part of some shenanigans and she actually was rigging the process, that she did rig the process. But she didn't know for sure, right? So she began investigating. And she said what she found was that Debbie Wasserman Schultz let Hillary Clinton, the Hillary Clinton campaign, pretty much run everything. They took total control over the DNC, and everything was being like funneled through Hillary Clinton's campaign, her headquarters in Brooklyn.
Yeah, she said that Debbie Wasserman Schultz wasn't a good manager. Now, what she meant by Debbie Wasserman Schultz wasn't a good manager is that she did not distribute leadership roles throughout the party, throughout the DNC. She wanted to take care of everything. It was all Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton because Debbie Wasserman Schultz was on, you know, chaired Hillary Clinton's campaign when she was running against Barack Obama. So yeah, they took it all over. They took it off, but I think it's important to note how she kind of started off.
Yeah.
Or what she started off with. And she started off with Russia.
Yes,
because that's where her investigations led. That's why she, you know, the hacked emails. So first she started off with something that's unproven. So she stated that as a fact. So she had to throw that in there. And so then she says, upon investigating some of these emails, she came to the revelation that there were some improprieties, you know, with the DNC and their approach, and she determined that it was, you know, Debbie Wasserman Schultz unilaterally, and Hillary Clinton. Yeah,
just those two.
Just those two. Not only did she do that, it almost like she was, even though she was throwing them under the bus, she was justifying their fundraising by saying that Obama left the party in debt.
Right. So she said, so she said that the DNC was pretty much bankrupt. It was broke. And this is what she came to find out. So what she found out was that the Hillary campaign was actually funding the DNC at this time. So the Hillary campaign was actually funding the day-to-day operations of the DNC. So like I said, everything was being funneled through the Hillary Clinton campaign, and especially through her headquarters in Brooklyn. Now, upon further investigation, she began talking about the Hillary Victory Fund, right? So this is an excerpt of what she had said, okay? She said, individuals who had maxed out their $2,700 contribution limit to the campaign could write an additional check for $353,400 to the Hillary Victory Fund. That figure represented $10,000 to each of the 32 states parties who were part of the Victory Fund agreement, $320,000 and $33,400 to the DNC. The money would be deposited in the states first and transferred to the DNC shortly after that. Money in the battleground states usually stayed in that state, but all the other states funneled that money directly to the DNC, which quickly transferred the money to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, of course, is where Hillary's campaign headquarters were.
When was that started? When was that started, right?
Now,
when was that Victory Fund started?
It was started in August of 2015.
So,
and like she came to learn that though.
Oh,
she came to learn.
She didn't know. No, she didn't know that. She came to learn Victory Fund
in September of 2006. She came to learn that the Victory Fund started.
You said 6. You said 2006.
2006?
You said 2006.
Okay, yeah. She came to understand that the Hillary Victory Fund was started in August of 2015, but she learned this in September of 2016, over a year later, when she became the interim chair of the DNC.
But this Hillary Clinton Victory Fund was well known. They were running fundraisers all over the place.
Yeah, you know, if I'm not mistaken, I think we talked about it.
We did. We talked about this.
You know, because we've talked about so many things.
We talked about this.
Yeah, I mean, because it's coming up on 2 years, man. But we've talked about a lot of different things. But I remember, I think it was in April of last year. April of last year, which would have been like 5 months before Donna Brazile's revelation.
So wait. So me and you, two regular dudes, not party insiders,
unless you have something to disclose.
Yeah, I wish I had some money to disclose.
I'm saying, right?
I wish.
But no, we have no connections whatsoever to party insiders, Democratic Party officials, operatives, none of that. But we knew in April of 2016 that the Victory Fund, that the Hillary Victory Fund was about collusion and was about money laundering. And a short time later, you remember that article that revealed that less than 1% of the money actually went to the
down ballot
candidates, right? And over 99% of it went to the Hillary Clinton campaign.
So this was something that was known not only by us, but it was being written about. So okay. So what she is saying, she did not know about this Victory Fund, which is bullshit.
You know. This is what she said. She said, "Wait," I said.
Like,
she said that victory fund was supposed to be for whoever was the nominee and the state party races. You're telling me that Hillary Clinton has been controlling it since before she got the nomination?
really? Wait, I said. Wait, like what? Why she got to be? There was one part where they was quoting her, and she was like, I guess once she figured the details out, she was like, I gasped. I was like, yo, why you gotta be so extra? Like, why you trying to like play it up like a soap opera? I gasped. Like stop it. Stop it.
So again, like we were talking about, she found out that this had all started back in August of 2015. And she goes on to say, the agreement signed by Amy Dacey, the former CEO of the DNC, and Robbie Mook was Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, with a copy to Mark Elias, specified that in exchange for raising money and investing in the DNC, Hillary would control the party's finances, strategy, and all the money raised. Her campaign had the right of refusal of who would be the party communications director, and it would make final decisions on all the other staff. The DNC also was required to consult with the campaign about all other staffing, budgeting, data analytics, and mail-ins.
Now let's just imagine, right, that all this is going on. Somehow all of this is going on, and kind of being spearheaded by Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton. Let's just say they're not letting anybody in on how they're raising money. Let's say nobody else knew about it. You mean to tell me that Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton have pretty much hijacked the reins of the DNC, but nobody says anything? Like all this stuff is going on
and didn't say anything, or nobody knew.
Or nobody know. Yeah, exactly. Like, or either they're just completely blind. So they're not having any say in this, but they're not saying anything. So that's what doesn't make sense. So Donna is trying to present this narrative that like nobody knew what was going on. We didn't know what was. So wait a second. You're actually pointing to some kind of neglect on your part in party leadership, if that's the case, because you're saying that y'all were just hands off the entire time. That doesn't even make sense.
Donna says that she did not know, and she said that she thought it was kind of funny because when she would want to write a press release, it would have to go through Brooklyn campaign headquarters, Hillary Clinton's campaign headquarters, and she thought that was funny. Like,
so if you thought that was funny, you sure as hell didn't say anything.
Didn't say anything.
She's incriminating. You know what she's trying to do? You know what she's trying to do? She's trying to place the blame on the party, or she's trying to take the blame that people have placed on the party for abandoning Bernie Sanders onto two characters, and that's Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton.
But she's Donna Brazile,
that wasn't us.
I didn't know
that wasn't us. That wasn't that party leadership.
No.
That wasn't people in the party. That was just them. The Democratic Party didn't abandon Bernie Sanders. You know, it was those two.
Right.
I was like, that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to, I guess trying to save face for the Democratic Party
and remove herself and others from criticism. She began further. She began detailing like regular order in the process, like when a candidate actually assumes control of the DNC. And she said that, you know what? Let me see. Yeah, no. Okay, so she was saying that usually when it happens is after a candidate receives the nomination. And we talked about this too. And I believe in the video that we did in April 2016, we talked about how Barack Obama had a fund just like this, just like the Hillary Victory Fund. But it was established after he secured the nomination. So she was saying that, no, it is highly irregular for a candidate before the nominating process, before a nomination has even taken place, before the convention has even taken place, for a candidate to pretty much hijack the DNC, hijack all operations, and use it to further their own selves, right? She says that regular order is after the nominating process. That's when the candidate begins you know, putting their own, well, actually assuming control over the DNC, because then it would be all about them. Now, that happens when there's an open ballot, you know, when there's not an incumbent. When there's an incumbent, like what it was for Bill Clinton's second term and Obama's second term, well, the president is already in control of the DNC, so there's no reason to, you know, have a impartial process. But this was a reason to have an impartial process, because you had people running for the nomination. Nobody was an incumbent, but she said, you know, like I said, she said that shouldn't have happened.
But see, if you think about the conversation surrounding Hillary Clinton, I guess her seeking the presidency, the conversation around the party was one that she was kind of the party's nominee from the jump. This was coming from party insiders, party leaders. You know, super
delegates, super delegates from the beginning.
Again, I think in the article that I read, Donna said she went on an investigation to see if she went from department to department to see if, I guess, people's visions were skewed, to figure out whether the members of the Democratic Party were skewed to Hillary Clinton. She said she found no evidence of that, because she said once she read those emails and looked at the tactics that the DNC, well, no, I'm sorry, not the DNC,
not the DNC,
Debbie Wasserman Schultz was using against Bernie Sanders, she was aghast. She was aghast. Shocked.
Dismayed.
She was in anguish. Like, I'm telling you, she did it up really good. But she said she went from department to department and said she didn't find anybody. Basically everybody was neutral. There was nobody that was instantly for Hillary Clinton. I was like, wait a second. Like you said, what about the super delegates?
What about, from the beginning, Hillary Clinton had an enormous advantage in superdelegates. I can't remember the counts, but I think it was like 500 or something. Like Hillary Clinton started with like 500 superdelegates. Bernie had like what, 20 or something like that.
But wait a second. Those are party insiders.
Those are party insiders.
Donna said she went from department to department, investigating individual conduct to see if their decisions were skewed.
So either they lied to her, or she's full of shit.
Yeah, I think it's the second one. I think it's the second one, because there's no way she doesn't have a beat on what the party insiders think.
No,
she's incredibly,
you know, she's being forthcoming at this point in this book. She's being forthcoming, but then it looks like she's holding stuff back now. I mean, like, if you're going to be forthcoming, like, be all the way, like, go all the way. Now, just, you know, specifically about the Hillary Victory Fund, she said the funding arrangement with HFA and the Victory Fund agreement was not illegal, but it sure looked unethical. If the fight had been fair, one campaign would not have control of the party before the voters had decided which one they wanted to lead. This was not a criminal act, but as I saw it, it compromised the party's integrity. And that's exactly what we said. It was a way to skirt the rules, to get around the rules so that Hillary Clinton could amass a big fortune so that she could use to campaign. It could be used to propel her campaign. Now, we even addressed how I believe it was Debbie Wasserman Schultz that said Bernie Sanders had the opportunity to have a fund like this as well.
To take part in this fundraising effort. She said Bernie Sanders had the option, but he declined. Yeah. You know what?
We don't even know if that's real.
We don't know if that's true. But even if it's true, you know why he declined.
Exactly, because this is suspicious as hell, man. Like, it's not even suspicious. We called it money laundering for a reason, because it laundered money. She wasn't supposed to gather that much money, because the money was supposed to go to state Democratic parties and the DNC. It wasn't supposed to all go to Hillary Clinton's campaign, but it did. What do you call that?
They were just using I guess the Democratic apparatus of each state to funnel more money straight to her.
Yes. You know, so when she was having these events at like George Clooney's house in San Francisco, I believe it was San Francisco, where, like I said, you could write one check for over $350,000. That $350,000, virtually all of that went to Hillary Clinton's campaign.
It was supposed to be dispersed.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. But again, Donna Brazile is acting like she didn't know that this was going to happen. So she later said how, or actually she actually began by saying, before I called Bernie Sanders, I lit a candle in my living room and put on some gospel music. I wanted to center myself for what I knew would be an emotional phone call. So she told Bernie Sanders what was up. She told Bernie Sanders that, yeah, you got gypped. Yeah, it was an unfair process. And then after she got off the phone with him, she cried. She cried. It tore her up. She cried, man.
What she put on some gospel music?
She put on some gospel music, yeah.
To center herself?
This was the same woman. This woman that put on gospel music and wanted to center herself for an emotional call and was so torn up that she cried after she called Bernie Sanders. This is the same woman that provided a question to Hillary Clinton before a town hall. That is what came out in the leaked emails. She provided a question to Hillary Clinton so that she would be prepared to answer it beforehand at a town hall. Now, did she do the same for Bernie Sanders? No,
so
she did not.
While she is trying to play it up, play her emotions up, as she is somehow beside herself because I guess I guess Bernie was kneecapped, like we like to say. She tries to play it up like she's like in this, like she's beside herself.
She's beside herself.
But when the rubber meets the road during the primaries,
she was in on
it. So she was in on the rigging. Yeah. Essentially, was in on it. So the same emails that kind of prompted her to go on this quest are the same emails that pegged her as one of the parties that wasn't impartial.
She was in the process. It wasn't outside the process. She had a role in rigging the primary. Look, man. Again, breaking news? I think not. Everybody knew this. We knew this at least 5 months before Donna Brazile said she found this out. At least 5 months. We are from afar. We have no connections whatsoever. Many people that watched our video knew as well. There have been many discussions on this topic. The name of the fund was Hillary Victory Fund. If this was supposed to be a fund to actually help down ballot candidates, candidates seeking re-election, the DNC, if this was supposed to be an impartial process to just help the nominee, whoever that may be, why would it be called Hillary Victory Fund?
Because,
why would the Hillary Victory Fund help Bernie Sanders?
Because a victory for Hillary is a victory for everyone. I can't even say that with a straight face.
All right, you know what?
I mean, it's again, why does she have to embellish upon how she approached this with all these like emotions? It's like, you know what I'm saying?
And again, this was a woman, like we said, about providing the question to Hillary Clinton. This was a woman that at first denied that she had any involvement with this. She got fired from her role at CNN. And then afterwards, early this year, she apologized for doing it. She said she regrets it. So she lied about it. You think she's lying about some of the stuff that's in the book?
No, she can't be lying because she gasped, remember? And she put on some gospel music to center herself. She sighed. She cried in anguish as she came to the realization that Bernie Sanders' potential was squandered by the dirty tricks of the DNC that I had no part of. like, come on, yo. Like, I'm supposed to believe that?
Now, in further breaking news on this subject.
Lord.
Breaking news. Now, this is actually breaking news, right?
Can you wait for a second? Can you wait a second? Can you please wait? Wait 1 second. I'm not ready. Look, I already know what's going. I know it's going.
You gotta embrace it like a brick hitting you in the face, man. You gotta just walk right into it.
Okay, all right.
You know how in basketball, man, you just run and catch the ball, man. You just gotta run to it.
Okay,
all right. You gotta go get it. Right?
Go ahead, man. I think I'm ready.
So in breaking news.
Breaking news.
This is the breaking news. Jake Tapper has had a discussion with Senator Elizabeth Warren, and he asked her about this issue, about how Donna Brazile revealed the rigging of the process, the rigging of the Democratic primaries. And Jake Tapper asked Warren, do you agree with the notion that it was rigged? And Senator Warren said, yes. Elizabeth Warren believes the primary was rigged. She also said that she just learned it today because of Donna Brazile's book. She just learned about it. And then what she say? What she said, but you know what we all need to do is come together. We all need to come together. And you know, we can't let this happen again. We all got to come together. Elizabeth Warren.
She just learned. She just learned this today.
November 2nd, 2017. Over a year and a half after we addressed this issue, she's just learning that, oh snap, the primary was rigged. That enthusiastic support that I had for Hillary Clinton on Rachel Maddow's show and on the campaign trail with Hillary Clinton, oh shucks.
You know what? Again, she is. First of all, it's late.
Oh my God!
It's not the fact that you found out about it today, but like, if you're going to cover yourself, why are you doing it a year later? Like, why are you doing it a year later? If she was going to cover herself, why is she waiting until a year after to do it, to cover herself from the support that she had for Hillary Clinton? Like, okay, first of all, DNC fraud lawsuit. DNC fraud lawsuit. So, are they seriously going to tell us that they didn't know what was going on and the information that was coming out in regard to the DNC fraud lawsuit and what that was about? It was about the very thing that they claim they just found out about just recently. And
hold on, I don't remember Senator Warren saying anything about the DNC fraud.
I don't care, but she knew about it though.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember her saying anything about it. You would think that with that,
that's a big thing.
That's a really big thing. You would think with that she would be like, well, golly gee willikers, something funny, some funny business did happen. You wouldn't be finding that out in November 2017. So many things have happened along the way. So many people have outed it. You wouldn't be finding it out now, man. Look, man, I was already off of Elizabeth Warren. I was already off. I thought she had some integrity before. This was maybe 2015 or so, when she didn't come out and support Bernie Sanders, whose ideology is right there. I mean,
matched up with hers more so than Hillary's.
Much more.
Well, as far as yeah.
Much more. She even I think we even played a video clip in one of our videos of her going
after Hillary Clinton and talking about how her position switches.
She did that. But then when it, like when you said when the what's that expression you use?
When the rubber meets the road?
Yeah, when the rubber meets the road. What did she do? She abstained. She didn't have a voice in the nominating process. In this case is when the
chicken crosses the road.
Yeah. She was like, nah, I'm not getting involved. Even though Bernie is, clearly who I should be siding with. No, I'm going to stay out of it. And then when it's too late to make a difference, oh, I'm with Hillary. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to campaign with her. I can't wait to. I'm with her.
Yo, that was probably one of the most energetic endorsements.
It was.
They hugged and they just
that episode on Rachel Maddow, man, she was so energetic.
You know what? You just brought up another issue that I wasn't really thinking about. Because if this whole process was neutral, right? If there was impartiality on the DNC's part, on the Democratic Party's part, wouldn't there be that same impartiality in regards to the media? What about CNN? You know, we jokingly call it the Clinton News Network. You know, and MSNBC, you know, we call it Rachel Maddow Raw.
Yeah.
You know, Rachel. Yeah, that's the Rachel Raw show. Like that same a level of, I guess, impartiality would have been there, like in the media, if it wasn't skewed towards Hillary Clinton. So it just doesn't make sense that all this was not already set up and coordinated.
I mean, who are they fooling, man? Seriously, like, they're trying to play us. They didn't find anything out just now. Because Donna Brazile didn't just find out in September. She knew the whole time.
It's almost like she's trying to it's almost like she's trying to paint this picture and this narrative that it was Debbie Wasserman Schultz and it was Hillary Clinton that tarnished the reputation of the ethical organization, the DNC. That's kind of like what she's trying to say. She's trying to, like, again, she's throwing both of them under the bus to save the party. But she's not really trying to save the party. She's just trying to save the party optically.
I'm already gone. I'm already gone.
You're like, I can't even do it. I'm gonna start laughing if I try to do it. Hold on. I can't even do you. Hold on. You're like, hold on. You were like,
no, this is too ridiculous. This is too absurd for my senses. It's too much, man.
Yo, because you got the notification about
Elizabeth
Warren,
yeah,
right before we went on.
Yeah.
So we looked it up and we looked up the CNN clip and we were like,
cannot believe
we were like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to start the show. We was like, I don't know if we can get. I was like, is she seriously? Because
unbelievable.
Yo, we thought she was the one that was left. We thought that she.
A lot of people did.
A lot of people did.
Yeah. A lot of people, and even still today,
even when we had disagreements with her, we still were like, okay, we're still partial to her because she has some good qualities.
Right.
Like, I still was reluctant to write her off, even when she endorsed Hillary Clinton. Now she went into the corner. Now
she did.
She did go into the corner.
Yeah, she did.
But I was like, all right, I still think that they need her, and I still think that she is a bright spot within a dark party. You don't have to be that bright, though. You see what I'm saying?
But
you don't have to be that bright.
But if she's professing ignorance on this issue, you're an insider. You telling me you never even heard? Because you would have to have never heard of the Hillary Victory Fund. And again, it was established in like mid 2015. The first event was I believe December 2015, late 2015.
So they didn't know anything was going on.
You didn't. The George Clooney event. You like how people were outside throwing money at the cars. You didn't see that. She didn't know. She didn't know. Just excuse Senator Warren. She didn't know.
Today.
Donna Brazile either.
Today.
She ain't know.
Today.
Yeah. See, Donna Brazile did the Democrats a service by outing these facts. See, we just learned it. See, Donna Brazile is the source of the information now.
You know what? That's even more ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. When the information came out last year. And for party insiders, the year before that, 2015, when the agreement was struck. Please, man, get out of here, man. All right, let's move on, man. Let's move on. All right, so at the beginning of the show, we talked about how we were going to be speaking about the hearings that are going on with Facebook, Twitter, and Google. And we have to talk about this. So lawyers for Facebook, Twitter, and Google are in hearings, and they have been in hearings for a few days with the Senate Intelligence Committee. So, excuse me, they've been facing many questions, and it was argued that they weren't taking the situation seriously about this whole Russian thing, and how, especially with Facebook, how the Russians were able to spread multiple memes throughout Facebook. It got into the sites of millions of Americans, and it must have swayed people's opinions on the election. And I guess this is absolutely the reason that Hillary Clinton lost the election.
This is about to fuck me up. You know why? Because we have been pushed into the position to defend Zuckerberg.
Yeah, because we're getting ready to go there.
What?
We're getting ready. Getting ready to go there. So I did want to. I wanted to highlight. Well, there's going to be a couple highlights from these hearings, but the first one I want to talk about is Richard Burr. He's a Republican from North Carolina. He's the committee chair. Now, he was lamenting the fact that during this time, 2 opposing fake pages were created, and they created events in Houston, Texas. Now, one of the events on one of the pages was to protest Islamization of Texas. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, it was protesting Islamization of Texas. Okay?
Yo, dog. You know what? If Russia did that, or if Russia was trying to do that, yo, that is some serious trolling.
Yeah.
Yo.
It was trolling.
That is of Texas.
Of Texas. Now, the other Facebook page was create an event about saving Islamic knowledge. Now, both pages created these events on the same day, same time, same place. So then Burr showed images of the clash that took place at this event. I guess the fighting and stuff that was happening at this event, right? Look, man, I just think it's very disingenuous. I think it's very disingenuous to purport that you care about humanity. Like, you care about, like he actually cares that there was violence that took place at these rallies. I think that's highly disingenuous when you don't say a damn thing about criminal justice reform. You don't say a damn thing about, you know, the players in multiple sports that are kneeling because of an actual reason, because of, you know, disparities within our, you know, within our society, police brutality.
So you're saying this, he's using this almost like as a scapegoat.
He is using it as a scapegoat. Hey, but this is about Russia. This is about Russia, though. This is about democracy. This is about freedom and patriotism, though.
Look, I tried to watch. I really did. I did my best. I tried to watch. I had food ready to just ready to watch it.
I couldn't watch much.
But I couldn't watch much of it. I was like, and it's crazy how the sensible Al Franken was on this crap too. And I'm like, he seems like a rational individual. He seems like a rational individual for the most part. So I'm trying to figure out like the line of questioning, where does it actually lead to? Where does the line of questioning, as far as as it is directed towards the CEOs of like Google and Facebook? Well, the CEO for Facebook wasn't there. It was Mark Zuckerberg. Right. It was like his lawyers.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, all the lawyers were there for Twitter, Facebook, and Google.
So, like, I'm again, I really don't want to be in the position to defend any of these lawyers and their CEOs, but I just find it difficult to put much time or energy into being upset about them not like trying to, I guess, taper memes and ads. Mm-hmm. What are they expected to do?
I don't know. Like I said, they were really going at them. They were really trying to deliver tough, hard-hitting questions at these lawyers. Like, well, what did you know, and when did you know it, and how far did it go? Like, and I believe they even showed graphics about how many people saw different ads. You know, the targeting for the ads and how many people saw them. But again, even if you're displaying that type of information, can you display any information that shows the effects of these ads?
You can't.
You can't quantify
because you can't.
that.
You really can't. You can't target Hillary Clinton voters. You could target
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of interest for Hillary Clinton. It just targets those who are interested in her. And
we were interested in Hillary Clinton.
So
you were interested in voting for her, though.
And the kind of they were suggesting that like those who were influenced were primarily Hillary voters or Democratic voters. And I'm like, how can you actually like just determine that these are the amount of people that saw it? Not only that, these are the amount of people that were affected by it.
You can't, but they're trying to do that. They're really trying to do that. Even Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein from California. This is what she had the nerve to say. She said, "You've created these platforms and now they're being misused, and you have to be the ones to do something about it, or we will."
What the heck is she gonna do?
Like, who you think you are?
What the heck is she gonna do?
These are private companies that haven't broken any laws. What do you think you're gonna do?
Like, I think, and here's the thing, like, even though, like, I guess the, I don't know, the checks and balances system, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, I do think it's not perfect. You know, and many people have complained about the checks and balances system and how hard it is to get, you know, certain resolutions. I've experienced it too, but let's not act like somehow like these platforms are some sort of black market to the utmost forms of debauchery or something. Like, you can't do porn, you can't post porn, you can't make threats. So
what you're saying is that they have standards.
They have some standards.
They have implemented their own standards. Like, you can't, like, graphic images, videos. They block them at first. You have to click a button if you want to see it. On Facebook, you do. So they have these standards to protect people. Now, the senators were also talking about the multiple phony accounts that were created. Now, okay, how do you suppose that they get around that? Now, I'm sure that they discover phony pages. I'm sure that they do. But how do you think they're going to discover every single one? Anybody can create a phony page. Like, you don't have to provide a driver's license or a birth certificate to say that I'm really who I am. So how do you think they're going to effectively root out all phony pages?
If you make up like a name that looks believable, they're not going to try to see if you're a real person. Like, if there's a page, they come across a page called I don't know, cucumber dump trucks. This random name, they're gonna be like, you need because remember when Facebook was making people, you know, use their government name.
Yeah,
it's like that's the only time that like issues like that pop up. But if it's just a fake page and they're using like, you know, there's like fake profile images and the name is like John Johnson or John Green or Adam Wilmington, then it's not gonna pop up. Like, how do you like police that? You can't police that. Like, it's like she thought she was making a point, but
she's being tough, man. She's being tough. Look, do something.
These are your platforms. I'm like, it's like
they're not a government agency though. Like, they're a private organization. And again, if there is something that they can do to root out the phony pages, I'm sure they are doing it. They are doing it, but one, you can expect that it's going to take time to figure out like what's a phony page and what's not a phony page. But again, are they going to be able to like, if they're going to have a 100% success rate? I think that's a lofty standard to set.
But again, it's like, why is like Russia being used as some sort of scapegoat? And they represent the epitome of disinformation and putting out misleading ads or just misleading anything. Like, the last time I checked, we didn't need Russia to do that. Like, we didn't need Russia. We do that all on our own. That happens at home. That happens here. Like, that's always happened.
Yeah.
Like, and I just don't like them presenting this as something that is dividing us. Like, really? Because before that, they discovered, you know, that Russia was, you know, purchasing ads before that, obviously we were all united.
Obviously Russia divided us.
Obviously everybody was, you know, standing by or sitting by the campfire singing "We Are the World" and "Kumbaya," because, you know, before this Russia stuff, everything was all good.
The senators even requested the private messages that were sent from these Russian phony accounts, the private messages that were sent to other individuals. Now, so far, Facebook is like, nah. Twitter too. They're like, nope.
See,
no, we take privacy very seriously. We're not about to give you that information.
See, and I got to side with them again.
Of course,
we got to side with them because, like, what would that open up the door to?
Anything and everything.
Because
the government wants private information.
What's going to happen? They can say, that's a fake page. It could be your page.
Yep.
They can just suggest or just speculate or just say, hey, that's a fake page. Mm-hmm. So what you need to do, you need to hand over all the messages that they sent to everyone.
Yes.
Then guess what happens? You get one person, that means you got them all, because you got everybody on their friends list. So all the messages between them and whoever they contacted is now going to be privy to the government.
This is a serious slippery slope. Like, what they're actually discussing, it really sounds like they want to establish an agency, like a government agency within these social media platforms. They really want to do that. And if they do that, like you said, they're going to be able to monitor your content. And we already know they want to do that anyway. We already knew that they want to kill net neutrality, right? This is along the same lines.
No, this is not just along the same lines, because I don't think the net neutrality alone will kind of accomplish what they want. Mm-hmm. This is
going forward.
This is kind of like, I wouldn't call it the next step, but this is kind of like, I guess the next prong. Mm-hmm. That's the next prong that's necessary, because not only do you have to suppress, you have to control. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to have some other like mechanism for control, because they can suppress and then some people get through. But this right here, it makes it to where they have a serious amount or serious level of control. Not only that, now that they can target people again, because suppression is just not enough. They need targeting, and this is what this accomplishes. And
they, like I said, if they're able to get Facebook to like block stuff, like, what is going to be the standard set? Like, what is Facebook going to block? Because I'm assuming the definition is going to come from the government. So the government is going to say, okay, you have to block this material right here. And I'm sure that's going to change as time goes forward. So it's not just going to be about what phony Russian accounts try to spread throughout the, you know.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Oh. It's going to be about maybe some kind of divisive political talk, maybe like some things that we have to say. Oh no, that's hurtful to the American public. No, you don't want to. No, you can't disperse that information. But okay, so we're gonna play a few video clips too. Okay, so there's this guy on MSNBC. His name is Ari Melber. Yeah, that's his name, right? Yeah, Ari Melber on MSNBC, and he's a host. And he had a few things to say about the situation too, and he's not very happy, especially with Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. So this is the first clip.
We know when Facebook serves up lies in the news section, it tricks voters and it influences our politics.
And we couldn't hear a damn thing. Did you hear it?
Nope.
I couldn't hear a damn thing. All right. Hold on. Technical difficulties. You know what? We can just. You know what we can do. Yeah. We're gonna have to utilize this other computer.
Yeah, probably. You know what I think happened? Like, because all the clips were loaded in the queue, and then the computer updated. I think it just messed up the whole environment.
Yeah. All right. Hold up. All right. Here we go. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so Ari Melber is talking about tricking voters influence our politics, right? Now, I have a few questions for Mr. Melber. I have a few questions. You remember when Rachel Maddow was trying to equate Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server with Colin Powell's use of a private email account? Didn't that affect our decision making? Didn't that affect our politics? Wasn't that a little bit slimy to do that? That was slimy to do.
Basically, like, if you distort the truth, you will affect the way people see, like, I guess, information.
What about the Bernie blackout? What about how the corporate media was pretty much portraying the situation like there was only one candidate on the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton? They weren't giving Bernie Sanders any time. Didn't that affect our politics? Didn't that affect our decision making? What about when numerous times during the primaries, when these corporate media stations would have guests on, and they would be political commentators, and they would be talking about politics. Now, they would be presented as unbiased guests, but they would have obvious connections to Hillary Clinton. Some with financial connections with Hillary Clinton, but they didn't disclose that fact on the show. Now that would have, I guess, that would have kind of presented the information in a different way to viewers, because we would have been like, well, hold on, whatever this guest is saying that's positive about Hillary Clinton and that is negative towards Bernie Sanders, I kind of see why that's happening, because they have some kind of connection
And if you
to this individual.
and if you go to
Isn't that
Ari's Facebook page, he has he's got some. He wrote a lot underneath the video,
right?
And so there's a lot of commentary surrounding him reporting on this kind of, I guess, Russian social media trolling, and I believe he used the phrase voter suppression.
Oh yeah. Hold on. You know, that's the second clip. That's the second clip. Yeah, let's get to that second clip. Yeah, that's the second clip. All right, so let's go to that clip. You know what? Let me put this up on this one so we can hear it too. All right.
And Russian efforts at voter suppression.
I can't hear it.
By trying to trick young Clinton voters into thinking they could vote by text. Mark, voter suppression is a crime. When Americans suppress votes, they get charged. There was a GOP operative convicted of sending phone calls to suppress black votes in 2010 by falsely telling voters that the Democrat had already won. That was fake news too, and it was illegal.
Yeah. So okay. So voter suppression was a crime. He's talking about this GOP operative. Hold on. So the way he's talking about voter suppression in this GOP operative and how it was a crime that should be penalized, I agree. Voter suppression should be penalized. I agree. But the GOP guy that he's talking about that used the phone to call these individuals, these voters, to say that the Democratic, or like pretty much that there was no reason to vote, was there any repercussions for the phone company? Like, did they go after the phone company? Because that was the tool that the GOP guy used to suppress the vote, the phone company. So
yeah, because
why does this have anything to do with
like if it's somehow if you can define Russian fake ads as voter suppression because they distort the truth, because they're misleading. If you can define that as voter suppression, why can't you define all that stuff as voter suppression?
I don't know. But why would you go after Facebook? Like, I mean, like, it's not Facebook's job. Like, it's not Facebook's job.
Yeah, you're right. Like, what about? I mean, actually, like, I mean, since the beginning of I guess political, I guess when political parties have the ability to put information out there about their candidate and another candidate, they've always done this. They've always distorted the truth. So would you blame NBC? So would you blame NBC or ABC or Fox News or whatever, some cable news network? Would you blame them That's like blaming them for a politician putting out a ad that distorts the truth. Like, are they responsible for that?
Is Time Warner responsible?
Is Verizon responsible?
Exactly.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you singling these out? You know why they're singling these out? For the reasons we addressed a few minutes ago. Because those are the biggest. Motive. Yes, they have ulterior motive. Those are the biggest. Those are the biggest fish to fry. They may go after the other ones too, but those are the biggest fish. Those are the biggest fish to fry because those are the platforms where that people use the most to spread their information. But you know, and then they say something about the age demographic that was being targeted. They said they were targeting like some of these ads were targeting younger voters and convincing them to what was one of the ads convincing them that they can vote using text.
Yes.
But I'm just thinking, I was like, so how young are you talking? Like 18, 19, 20, you know, first time voters? Because that's the only way, that's the only group of people that can be influenced by an ad like that. Because if
that would believe something like that.
Because if you're not, because guess what? If you already voted before, that wouldn't affect you. So it would have to be people who are first-time voters. But even so, like you would, that would be a serious or a massive mental failure.
I mean, like if somebody actually to believe nobody else, it's like they would have nobody else to talk to like say that's not right.
Oh, you mean they would have to be cut off from society?
Yeah, because but if they're cut off from society, how did they see this on Facebook?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like if they saw the ad, like for some strange reason, if they just saw the ad once, the only way that they would believe the ad if they hadn't seen anything else, they were cut off. For some reason cut off for the rest of society, like physically and electronically. Because guess what? Like if you're talking about where someone needs to go to cast their vote, like in general, I think you when you interact with people, it's going to come up in general conversation.
Yeah.
It's going to come up on television or it's going to come up on social media.
Like,
so
why would there be long lines? Like, wouldn't a person be like, why aren't more people texting?
Exactly. So it doesn't even make any sense. So even for that to be effective, they would have to see the ad, but at the same time not be connected to society, to where somebody would give them some like some counter information. It just doesn't even make any sense. Can you go to the chat? Because I need to address something before we move on. I need to address something in the chat right now, and I think he knows who he is, Mr. Hacker, and you have an appropriate last name because you have hacked this chat section. I'm going to need my boy Will to scroll up a bit, and he has a comment about what he is speculating that we think about Hillary Clinton. He said something about Hillary Clinton, about I thought we shouldn't go back and see if you can find.
Hold on, man. We can get to that at the end, though, man. We can get to that at the end.
I'm telling you, it's going to go away.
No, it ain't.
Well, I'm saying, all right,
because we're talking about this,
all right, we'll get to that. All
right. So yeah, the last clip we want to show is from Ari Melber. This is how he ended the segment.
This is about democracy and justice. So a lot of these questions they circle back to one question: whose side do you want to be on?
So now, Mark Zuckerberg is not even patriotic. Like now he has shaped the scenario to where Mark Zuckerberg is on the Russian side or the American side. You got to pick, Mark.
Yo,
which side you want to be on, man? Are you with us or are you with the Russians?
I'm not saying it's just as bad.
You got to attack the man's patriotism.
I'm not saying it's just as bad, but they are actually taking a page. They are taking a page out of the conservative playbook. They are taking a page straight from the conservative playbook and trying to make this an issue of patriotism.
Yeah. So again, so Facebook is not a news platform. It is a social media platform where many people can post whatever they like. Now, again, we just said, like, there are standards. You can't post copyrighted information, content. You can't do that. Graphic images, they're gonna come with the warning. They're gonna be kind of shaded so that you can't see what the content is until you press the button. They have imposed these standards on themselves because I believe that would be good for business. That would be a good business decision. But again, they are not a news organization, so it's not like they should kind of direct what news is dispersed on Facebook.
They're basically a marketplace.
Yes.
They're a marketplace for people to...
Merchandise, events, news, whatever the case. This is a social media platform. What would you have Facebook do? You want Facebook now to become a branch of the government and monitor material and say that, you know what, we don't like that, we're yanking that.
But yeah, again, it's like, and it, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how do they think, like, Facebook, number one, I know they make enough money probably to devote the resource to that, but still, like, are they going to be advising them on what rules to set up?
That's what I'm saying. And if they are advising them, think it's not going to stop with Russians. It's not going to stop there. It's going to eventually escalate into, well, these people right here, LTMB, they're sharing politics and ideas that I think is very dangerous for the American public.
You know what? He just made an issue of patriotism.
Right.
So why can't why can't they use that?
And who's going to define what it is?
Patriotism.
Who's going to define that?
They're talking about the United States military. They're talking about the military industrial complex. That means they're talking about our troops. That's unpatriotic.
And you know what? Facebook is an American company. But the people, the users of Facebook are global. It's global.
You stepping in it.
I'm just saying.
No.
Yeah, you know?
You stepping in it. That's the point. That's the point. It's global. It's global. That's the point. See, so it's like that's because they know that their arms could reach out further. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, when you really think about it, though, we know what the government is. We know what they try to do. This is an excellent strategy for them. The far reach that Facebook has, if you're able to put your hands on that and kind of affect what Facebook does, oh man, you're golden. As the government, you are golden. Again, because of the reach that Facebook has. Who has a reach like Facebook does? I don't think anybody does. Not currently.
Not well. I mean, it's because it's Google, Facebook, and Twitter. Those are the big three. That's the super team.
Yeah, that is a super.
That's a super team.
So you remember how the Pentagon was paying the NFL for patriotism, right? Now, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the money. But I'm sure the government would not mind giving Mark Zuckerberg some money to promote their brand of patriotism. All right. Let's go to yeah, there's a quick story here. Man, another one bites the dust. Sam Clovis. Now, this was Donald Trump's nominee for the Department of Agriculture's chief scientist. That's who Donald Trump wanted to become the chief scientist. He has withdrawn his name from consideration. And this is due to the Mueller investigation, because it has been reported that he is the campaign supervisor that was speaking to George Papadopoulos about meeting with Russian government officials. He was the one that was encouraging meeting with government officials. So he has denied this, of course, but because of all this controversy, he says he doesn't want it to affect Donald Trump, so he's withdrawn his name from consideration. And again, he's not going to become that chief scientist. Now, he shouldn't have been the chief scientist anyway, because one, he's not a scientist. He has no background in science whatsoever. The dude was a birther. He was a birther. He called Eric Holder a black, a racist black. He said many things about homosexuality. So yeah, it looks like the dude is homophobic, bigot, racist. He shouldn't have been, like I said, he shouldn't have been in this position anyway.
I'll tell you this: it wasn't his decision.
Oh no!
To step, it wasn't his decision to take his name out.
I doubt it.
It wasn't.
I doubt it.
It's just that they were like, okay, all right, they probably got you too. So you probably get swept up in this dragnet. So we don't need any more attention because things are already
getting too thick, man.
Yeah, it's like we already knee deep in it.
Yeah.
So
you making us look bad, homie.
But guess what though? If there is nothing there, or is the Trump administration just being cautious? That they're telling me that there's something there. There's something there with this dude. I don't think it's just about being cautious.
Yeah, I don't know.
That gives me an indication that there is
something in the pipeline.
Yeah. He did. He's one of the people that's in the pipeline.
Yeah, that would be a really bad look for somebody that's in the administration.
So yeah, they're trying to avoid any kind of attention right now.
But you know what? Thinking about this whole thing, I mean, look, it's been about 9 months of his administration, Trump's administration. To think about the number of people that have either been fired or have resigned willingly or unwillingly and have withdrawn their names from consideration of an appointment. I mean, because this is a horrible look, man. Because it doesn't make sense, right? It like the whole premise of how Trump said he was going to set up his administration doesn't make rational sense, because he said he was going to find the best people. He's going to surround people. But see, that's the thing. Like, fools don't surround themselves with smart people. They don't. Fools surround themselves with other fools. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just any fool. A narcissistic fool that thinks he knows everything. A narcissistic fool that thinks he knows everything is not going to surround himself with people who know things. He's going to surround himself with fellow fools. So it actually does make sense.
It's just so funny though, because like we said, just like with this guy, Sam Clovis has no experience in science or agriculture, but Trump thought he would be the best candidate. Ben Carson, HUD, no experience. Betsy DeVos, no experience in education.
But that's the point. It's like if you are seeking to exploit the government, or if you seek to use the government as some sort of like apparatus for, I guess, to enrich yourself or power, or if you don't want to be challenged in those branches of government at all, or those departments of government, sorry, then obviously you're going to put people who are incompetent because they're less likely to challenge you. Yeah. So it makes sense. So I think it's a combination of him being a fool and putting other fools there. But I think the other, probably most important factor is those people can be exploited. It's like it makes sense to have people, appoint somebody to the EPA. It makes sense to put people on committees that essentially talk against climate change or anything like that. It would just make sense.
This just looks like, I get elected. I'm appointing all my homies, all my boys, everybody with no experience whatsoever in anything. Like they was a cashier at Walmart, one worked at Target, another worked at Home Depot, stacking shelves and stuff like that. But I think they're the best ones for the job. I want them to come up, I want them to come up. This is a fool here. Donald Trump is a fool. But like you said, yeah, there's that school of thought that, yeah, a fool would surround themselves with other fools. But this is the United States of America, man. This is the government of the United States of America. If you actually want to look like you're competent, if you actually want to look like you can handle the job, you should probably, I don't care what kind of narcissist you are, you should probably put people that are, qualified for the jobs that you're appointing them to be. That would make basic common sense. Doesn't seem like he wants to do that.
He's playing that 5D chess.
A chief scientist who is not a scientist. That's as laughable as it gets.
That's just a title he gave himself.
Yeah, you know, this position of chief scientist in the Department of Agriculture. Let me get a non-scientist.
No, would you get like somebody who is like somebody to remove your gallbladder?
Yeah,
who is not not trained in that, who doesn't do that, that's not in his.
They'll learn on the job.
They'll learn.
I'm sure there's an instruction booklet or something, right? Man, oh boy, it's crazy, man. Damn, we had other stories to run with too, but you know what? We're gonna wrap this up. And Mike, man, I'm gonna let you get to this question you were talking about, man. And
no.
Also,
that's not a question. That is a distortion or a comment or a position or talking point in the form of a question. You can recognize those, like, you know.
We're gonna open it up for calls too. But did you see what you were talking about?
Oh no, it's right there. It says, Will and Mike, I thought because Hillary lost, we shouldn't question her. You see, what I hate, what that displays to me is that you don't want to have an honest conversation about people's positions. That is nothing more than a straw man. We didn't say anything of the sort, and I think you know that. Not only are you oversimplifying our point, you're distorting our point. We said a lot of things, but for the most part, we are trying to get people to stop using Hillary Clinton as some sort of deflectionary tool, as a way to take attention away from somebody else. That doesn't mean don't question her. I don't know how you kind of, came to that conclusion. I don't know how you came to that conclusion based on that position that we took. Don't use Hillary Clinton as a deflectionary tool, despite somebody else's behavior. That's all we were talking about. That has nothing to do about not criticizing her. We actually are trying to promote rational criticism of her. And see, that's the point. Like, you are so caught up in this binary thinking that you think because we don't agree with you on something negative about Hillary Clinton, that automatically means we're giving her a pass. Like, that's some binary thinking, like, right there. Like, because we don't think X is an issue, even though we do think she's corrupt, even though we don't think she's trustworthy, even though we think she's two-faced and a liar, that's not enough for you. We have to ride with you on every single negative thing about Hillary Clinton. We have to buy into every single negative thing about Hillary Clinton. No, that's irrational. That is irrational. That's the only point we're trying to make. It's just saying that don't believe every single negative thing, because there's enough to believe in. And I do believe it's irrational to try to always find these connections that may or may not exist. That's our point. Nowhere did we suggest that she shouldn't be criticized because she lost. We were saying that it is kind of interesting how much attention has been placed on a loser, and we were trying to connect that to like how much relevance she does have, how much influence she does have. That's the point. So, like, I guess how you approach certain political figures is going to be based on their threat level and based on how connected they are to some scandal. So all we were saying is, even when it comes to some very shady figures, it's still up to us to be rational as far as those figures. That's all. Had nothing to do with not criticizing her because she lost, and that's a gross distortion. It doesn't seem like you're interested in actually having an honest conversation about this, because you seem to have, like, seem to be so fixated and obsessed with Hillary Clinton. Do you think an obsession with Hillary Clinton is constructive? No. That's all we're saying. That's all we were saying. So it's best that you keep your name out, keep our names out your mouth if you're not going to have an honest conversation. We're willing to have a conversation with anybody in the chat, anybody on the phone, but we insist that you be honest about our positions. If you want to go to our page, like the YouTube page, you can go to it after the live show is over. You can go to the search and type in Hillary, or you can go to the playlist. Go to the playlist so you can see what we think about the Clintons and not just Hillary. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man.
Cool.
Gene was saying Donna Brazile is a compulsive liar. I am sure of it now. No doubt. No doubt. I mean, if we didn't know that by now, we definitely know that from this upcoming. I'm anxious to see more of the book. I can't. You know, I didn't really want to read Hillary Clinton's book. I haven't read Hillary Clinton's book, but this Donna Brazile book, man, I want to read it. I definitely want to read it. I think I'm gonna get a good chuckle.
You know why? Because like she is very colorful with her exposition. It's just very dramatic. I gasped. Yo, that got me, dog.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Oh my God.
I put on some gospel
to center
myself.
And then I cried.
I know.
She cried after she talked.
What she said? Did she say? What did she say? She made some tea or something, or some? What did she say? She said.
I think she did. She made some tea or something like that.
Like made some tea, or I sat down and with some.
Not on this quote I have here, but yeah. I think she did say something about some tea. Is it 2-Bit Recipes said Liz Warren is a smooth operator?
No, she is. She is,
man. She knows exactly what went down, and she learned that well before November 2nd, 2017. No doubt, man. Come on, you cannot convince me that a sitting U.S. senator, a Democratic U.S. senator, did not have any knowledge of the Hillary Victory Fund or the actions that were going on within the DNC.
Exactly, especially since that information was rarely available to everyone. It was coming out in the middle of 2016.
And it wasn't just us that was pushing forward that knowledge. It was all of you too. It was everybody saying, look, some shady shit is going on here. Hillary Clinton's rigging the process. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is rigging the process. Super delegates. Like all of this junk is false, man. Like we're being lied to, man. There's some shady shit going on. And what did the pushback that we got? No, nothing's happening. You're just being sore losers. No, Hillary Clinton's winning. She's gonna win.
Remember Sarah Silverman?
Yeah, you're being ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Oh wait a second. You know what? I was about to say. I'm like, you know what?
I hope she read it.
No, she read. Not only that. Not just her. I'm waiting on an apology. From, let's say, like Joanne Reed.
Yeah.
Rachel Maddow.
Yep. All the people that were like, no, come on. Hillary Clinton won fair and square. She
wasn't
got millions more votes. This was not rigged. It was a fair process.
Bill Maher. There's a long list of people that need to give public apologies. See, it's funny. Even though this is ridiculous and not even believable as far as like a narrative surrounding Donna Brazile's, I guess. Well, I would say she was complicit. I would say she's complicit, but she's not saying she was complicit.
No.
But this entire narrative, even though it's funny and it's not even believable, she is actually putting other people in a bad position. She doesn't realize it though.
Yeah, because they're gonna have to come out.
They're gonna have to.
Yeah, this happened.
Yeah, this happened.
Yeah, it happened.
So I know it's not going to be, but there's a long list of people that are gonna have to, in my opinion, apologize.
I wonder if either they're gonna do that or they're not gonna say a damn thing about it.
Oh, they're gonna go duck and cover. They're gonna run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, I think it's easy. I think it was very easy for Donna Brazile to at this point do this though, because one, like I said, she was fired from CNN. She's in disgrace now. What's the negative here? Like running the putting Hillary Clinton under the bus or blaming her for rigging the primary. Like what's the negative here? She's not at risk for anything. Like I said, she doesn't have anything right now. Anyway, she's gonna make a ton of money off of this book. So to cast it all on DWS and Hillary Clinton, what's the risk here? And other players as well here, all these Democratic operatives, these Democratic politicians, and these political commentators. I mean, what's the risk? Like, I think.
So we might not be able to hear it.
I think. Oh, yeah, that's true. I think for the most part, they won't have a problem with Throwing her under the bus. Hold on, let's see if we can hear this.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
we were having some audio issues, but tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, Ruth. How you doing, Ruth? What do you got for us? Right.
You've called before, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Well, we weren't really saying that they had any connection. We were just saying how we know that
they're connected.
Yeah, connected because we know the Congress, the people in government want to kill net neutrality because they want to limit the information that's out there. Same way that they probably want to limit what information is dispersed through Facebook as well. So that's why we kind of tied it together.
That's okay. You got anything else? You got anything else to add? Okay. Well, like I said, we appreciate you calling about that particular topic. And like I said, even if the subject doesn't come up, we kind of welcome you to call, especially if we go a long time without dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe give us some updates, okay? All right. All right. Thank you, Ruth. You have a nice night, okay? All right. We were just informed that
unfortunately none of you could hear that call.
So could any of you hear
they
us?
could probably hear us.
So if
it's this desktop audio right here.
Yeah.
Something's going on with this.
So like I said, we have the live environment software that allows us to broadcast live. We had that up, and then everything was loaded and everything was prepared.
Can anyone hear that music? We can't hear it. That is the problem.
Yeah.
How could we hear her though?
Yeah, I know, it's weird. We were able to hear her, but we were not able to hear any of the videos or the music. It's just we know that y'all can hear us, but there were some people saying that they couldn't hear the caller.
So okay, so they can hear the music. Okay. All right.
So
they can hear the music,
they
hear the caller.
Yeah.
All right.
See, in order to probably rectify this, we would probably have to shut the whole entire thing down, which wasn't an option.
This is right.
Yeah.
Playback. This is right.
So right now we can't accept calls because for some reason the listeners cannot hear the caller. So I don't really know what's going on.
But we can't hear the music.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's weird how they can hear the music and we can't hear the music. But we can hear the caller and y'all can't hear the caller, which is weird because they both of those things are related to desktop audio, so which is actually on. So it's kind of
we're gonna have to
we're gonna have to troubleshoot this after.
Yeah, because see, that should play it right there. That should play it right there. For some reason it's not playing it. Yeah, there was an update. There was an update done and It messed something up. Anyway, whatever. Well, we have 5 days to figure it out. Yeah, I have no idea why that's not working. Alright, let's cut off the music for a second here. Dang, that's disappointing though. Yeah. Well, sorry that nobody else can call because we're gonna be the only ones that hear you. The nobody watching is gonna be able to hear you. But we're gonna rectify this. We're gonna figure out exactly what happened and have it fixed by Tuesday. I don't understand why I can't fix it right now though.
Maybe, like I said, maybe it's already because all the live environment is already set up, and any changes to it might.
See, that's it right there. Yeah, I don't get why.
It's not showing any. See, look, it's not showing any levels. You see that?
Yeah, it's not showing any levels. Yeah.
Right click it. Right click it. And what is it? Go properties.
Nothing like this we had to do before.
No,
it's not that.
It's not that because you would still hear something.
Yeah, you would hear something.
And it's marked as the default. So
recording is cool. We got recording done. Speakers. For some reason, it is not coming through. It was on this, but I wouldn't know why that would be. This is about. Anyway. Whatever. If anybody has any questions, we can read them off through and answer them. Or if anybody has any comments. But yeah, thank you, Ruth, for calling in. And well, yeah, Ruth was calling in about net neutrality, which is an important subject. Yeah, I can't do it right now, so I don't know what's going on. Need a producer. We need a producer.
Yeah, I don't see no. Who's still
Again, I have no. Why would that happen? Anyway, whatever. But anyway, okay. So that's what we have for the show. At least you could hear the. But another thing, though. So you could hear the video clips that we played, right? Could you hear the video clips that we played earlier? Because I didn't see anybody saying that they couldn't hear those video clips.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't see anybody saying. I don't see anybody saying they couldn't hear the video clips.
Go down and see if anybody.
So I see it's just saying we still can't hear the caller.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, somebody let us know if you could definitely hear the video clips that we played of Ari Melber.
Yeah, that's all 3 videos. Yeah, I think they would have said something. We can't hear video, but I don't see anybody in the comment. Okay, all right. I see Pat did respond. You don't be surprised about that, man, because I'm trying to keep our heads on straight, bruh. I mean, I think your politics are straight, man. I think for the most part, your politics are straight. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to challenge you, bruh. So yeah, I'm gonna jump your shit, man, but that don't mean I don't like you, dog. You know what I'm saying? I might jump you a little bit because I'm trying to keep our heads on straight. That's all, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if we teammates and all this, man, teammates got to be tough on each other, man. If you ever play sports, you know that. If you ever played sports, you know that, man. Shoot, Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face. Now I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm not saying it's that extreme, but you know we gotta check each other sometimes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all think we sit up in here and we agree with each other sometimes, but y'all may not see us. If y'all see us when we disagree, it's like a sparring match because we're both very strong-willed. You know what I'm saying? We're both independent thinkers. So we're gonna clash on some things, but nah, man. I jumped your shit. I did because I wanted to make sure we all keep our head on straight, man. It's definitely no love lost, man. I'm just trying to, make sure our team is tight. You know what I'm saying? So just got to keep your head on straight, and that's what I'm concerned with. You hear him? Nope, still don't hear nothing. No, that's why I kept it on. But now I heard that there were 4 more indictments that may be in the pipeline in regard to the Mueller investigation. They're sealed indictments, so we don't know I guess who those indictments pertain to. So there's no telling on when those indictments are, when the individuals that are indicted are going to be notified. So he's got something else. I don't know what he's waiting on. Maybe it's some sort of strategic kind of. Maybe he's doing it strategically, so that maybe some people make some moves. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing?
Nope, still nothing. Still nothing. Nope, still nothing. Yeah, man, we're gonna have to probably fix this later, man, because I think something happened with the update that is not.
But you see, it should even be doing that. We took the. There's no sound coming through.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's not even sound coming through when the headphones aren't plugged in. Like I said, it probably did something. Yeah, it probably did something. The update probably did something. Because it's not actually the software; it's actually the laptop or the application. Yep, still can't hear anything.
I'm like puzzled, man. I'm on this now. Like I'm very puzzled at this. Why would the speakers just
stop
working for no reason? The speakers just stop working. Let me see something. Oh, he's sending somebody to this loud. Let me see. All right, let's cut that off. Oh, we're guinea pigs right now. Let's play it from here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's just within the software
yeah,
environment.
it's just within the software environment. So yeah, he played a clip and it played fine with the onboard media player.
Okay.
But somehow the
yeah. All right. So it's the software environment. All right, we got some fixes to make. I don't know why nothing was changed, but all right. Anyway, we'll fix it. Anyway, appreciate everybody that's been here with us on this Thursday night. We'll be back same time, 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. So there's a long weekend. Anybody got any plans for the weekend?
Sam Paris and Michael Wood, do you check messages sent to your website?
We do.
Which what? Talking about the
letthemadnessbegin.com. Yeah, we do.
When you did you send us something? Or are you planning on doing it?
I wonder if that was Sam that sent us a message. Somebody sent us a message requesting some advice, and I hadn't even gotten to it yet. Every day I've been meaning to get to it. Yep, that was Sam. No, hold on. Now Sam emailed us on Wednesday, I believe. Okay, Sam, I got your message right here. But yeah, somebody else has sent us a message. Damn, nope. Sam has sent us a message on October 25th as well.
Now, Gene said, I was trying to search for any comments relating to the videos, and Gene said video clips were heard with echoes, and Mary Hill confirmed. It says yes with echoes. Gene also says we may have taken some comments out of context. And you gotta understand, boy, there's some ongoing chatter conversation that's goes beyond tonight, goes, you know, maybe a show ago. So I don't think it's just related to one or two comments made by somebody. Somebody has a short history, very short history. So I don't see any other comments about the videos other than those two, but apparently they were echoing.
But yeah, Sam, yeah, we'll get back to you, no doubt. I see your messages now. I'm trying to find another message. Somebody sent us a message. Somebody sent us a message some time ago. It was asking for some help because they, yeah, is this right here? Nope, that's not it either. I know it wasn't that long ago.
He said it was a week ago.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, Sam, I got your messages, yeah, from October 25th and from Wednesday too, but I'm just seeing them right now though. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Sam, but yeah, we'll get to that, no doubt. Damn, time creeps up, man. Somebody sent us a message on October 7th. Okay, yeah, Sam, no doubt. I'll get to you. No doubt, man. But yeah, that's all I got, man. You got anything?
Man, I don't got anything. Just like you said, man, I'm willing to see what kind of material this Donna Brazile book.
Oh yeah.
Yields.
I don't know when the release date is.
Yeah, I know, but
it's gonna be a bestseller.
Cause see, the thing is, I don't know. I honestly. It's going to be a bestseller. I don't think it's going to create as much buzz. I don't think people are going to line up around the corner like they did for Hillary Clinton. But honestly, it's going to be more of an interesting read.
Oh, yeah, it will be. Yeah, because, see, you have your Hillary fans, of course. But just knowing that it was It's Not Me book, it's everybody else, and it's Bernie, like, that's going to suppress some of the interest in it because it's like, okay, Hillary, all right, we already heard this, man. All right, come on, get over it, man. This is 2017. Nobody wants to hear that right now. But Donna Brazile, if she's actually out and stuff, even though we already knew it, if she's actually out and stuff, it's going to be interesting to actually put that, I mean, like, read that in print. And especially her take on it.
Okay, yeah. I think it's more about her take on it and her exposition.
No doubt.
And her describing, her being very descriptive of like her reactions to the information she found out.
Now it's gonna be her removing herself from any of the shenanigans, but still, it should be a really fun read. But yeah. Anyway, that's all we got for you. We're gonna be on Facebook in a few minutes. And there's actually a couple stories that we didn't get to, but that we'll probably get to on Facebook. We'll be on for 30 minutes probably. Yeah, probably on for 30. This time we're actually gonna cap it at 30 minutes. But anyway, appreciate everybody being here, and yeah, we'll be back next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Appreciate all the support, all the comments, anybody that calls in, and have a good one. Have a good weekend.
All right, see y'all.